know, like whatever you do, I do.
Please don't do that. That'd be incredible. Please stop doing that.
So here we are on Talking Mush. We got Colin Cummings and myself, Michael Johnson. And here we are with Mark P. Memorable Mark.
Yep. That's what I call him.
And we're talking mush. We're talking psychedelics. We want to hear your stories.
Let's do it.
And we want to share your stories. So let's get started.
Mike just banged that intro out. You see that shit?
Yeah, I'm hard. I don't know.
We talked about this before, and he just did it. Amazing.
That's beautiful.
That's progression.
I like it.
You were the first one where we did it properly.
Really?
Yep.
Is it what you told him about me? Like you gotta like step it up big for Mark or what?
We want this to be memorable.
Thank you. Either bad or good. Sure.
Either one.
We'll do it.
I'm straight either way.
So why do they call you Memorable Mark?
Actually, nobody's ever called me that.
No?
It's just me.
It's a thing.
This is the first time Colin's ever.
It would have been better if like no one's ever done that before, but you had an answer anyway.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
I had Money Mark.
We're live.
Oh yeah? Is it actually live though?
No.
Oh, okay. You gotta like.
Did we start recording on these guys here?
You record. Do it.
You need my fingerprint. Okay, so
Wow. What is the point of having these cameras? They need your fingerprint?
Oh, it's codependence right here.
How could you? Oh, man.
okay.
That's wild, though. They need your fingerprint to open up?
Yeah, just on the top there. There's a little fingerprint
You just
scanner.
gave in.
These are great phones that are the worst tech product of 2018.
You just gave in. You just gave them your fingerprint, man?
Everyone has my fingerprint.
I don't even know what that is.
I like that look. Get right in there.
Oh, you don't even know what phone that is.
No.
Should we
It looks like a
about the phones at all?
self-destruct button at the back.
No, we shouldn't talk about them.
Don't even talk about them.
It's the
I'm down.
it's the red hydrogen one, and they're a failed phone, and that's
Oh, okay.
that's the end of that. But they have cameras on them, and they work, and we're using them.
I thought it was either failed or like new technology. I wasn't sure.
They take 3D video and 3D photos,
What?
which is pretty cool. But like you
Yeah.
can only see them on this phone.
I hear you.
I will say this to our red camera overlords. As a filmmaker, I love your product. It's fantastic.
That's nice, right?
Colin Cummings here. Send me a red camera, and I'll do promo for you guys.
I'll do it.
So yeah, Talkin Mush. Here we are. When was the first time you've done mushrooms?
First time of 3, like 2 years ago.
2 years ago was your first time.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 31.
Okay.
Sounds like casting couch right now. I don't know.
What do you
How
mean?
old are you?
I was just
Yeah.
curious because it's
Yeah.
like, that's let's say late in the game. For me,
Yeah.
I did mushrooms for the first time as a teenager. I was like 14 years old.
Oh, really?
So
I couldn't handle it back then.
yeah.
No, definitely
Yeah, like we, as 14 or 15-year-olds, we have like completely different priorities. So
Yeah.
it's probably better off that you did it
Yeah.
in the last couple of years.
not. I was busy playing basketball, so.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what we should have been doing.
Yeah, different priorities.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Neither
man.
of us were doing that.
So awesome. That's great. So 2 years ago, your first experience. Like,
Yep.
walk us through it.
2.5 grams. Is that
Yeah.
is that a good amount? That's a good amount?
That's a good amount.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid.
That's no hero dose?
It's not a hero
Yeah?
dose. No.
Okay, well, that was the first time.
I would say hero dose is like 5+.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first time I did it, 2.5 grams. Second time I did it, 5 grams.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Third time, what do you think?
I want to go 1. I feel like you... Wait, no, you said you got scared from the last one.
Yeah. So I did 2.5.
7.
5, 10.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think I fucked myself
wow.
up.
You
Like,
just
I
went
don't-
hard. Okay. I
Yeah.
see what-
Wow.
I got cocky, man.
I'm so surprised.
we got to hear about that. We got to hear what you learned.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Which way should we go? Should we go from small to big or?
No, let's
I
start
think small to big.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to
Our-
see his progression.
Yeah. Just see the cockiness come. Oh, man.
So
That's what it is. I got cocky.
You just kept having a good time, and you're like, let's up the ante on this.
Yeah.
How far can we take it?
Yeah. Because mushrooms are one of those things that, like, you can't die from it. Like, physically. You know what I mean? So I was like, sure, let's keep packing it on, right?
I love this attitude.
Yeah.
This is the first person that's like matched
Yeah.
our doses.
Oh, yeah?
That's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. I'm excited.
So, yeah, first time seeing this girl,
2.5.
2.5. We're going to go up to Blue Mountain, stay on the ski resort.
Yeah.
We did 2.5 each. That one was good. Like nothing bad about that. Like the grass was not the grass. The snow was like whiter. The lights were brighter. It was sick. Like the fireplace was like beautiful. Second time, I'm like, yeah, I could handle more, and so we did on Valentine's Day. Me and my girlfriend.
But wait, is this still the 2.5 time?
No, sorry, this is the second time. The first time wasn't so memorable.
No?
Like in terms of like, it was all right.
Did you like? What did you feel? Like, how did it like come on for you? Like, did you activate it?
And we're gonna build this name for Memorable Mark. This is it.
This is
This is
This is
you know, I think it took like what 45 minutes. My girlfriend or the girl I was seeing at the time, she's like, I don't feel anything. And then right when she said that, that's when it like came on. That's when I felt it.
Okay.
So yeah, giggly, really happy, like euphoria.
Okay.
Yeah. It lasted about like 3 hours. 3
And that
hours.
was it.
Yeah. Oh, and we smoked weed too.
Okay.
And that made it like,
Yeah.
that high was like 12 out of 10.
Were you guys in like the cabin? Were you guys outside taking a walk?
No, we were inside just watching the fire, like the fireplace.
Just smoking and watching a fire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
actually
So this girl that was just seeing, so it was like,
I've done exactly that before.
Yeah.
Fireplace.
You told me about.
Yeah,
that.
man.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
I understand.
So yeah, we blazed, we smoked weed, and like, yeah, it's like the most relaxing, but like euphoric. I've never been to that like state before. You know what I mean? But then I remember at one point, she got on the bed, and she just like paralyzed. You know what I mean? Like paralyzed on the bed.
Yeah.
And like looking up, I'm like, what's happening? So like, I didn't notice anything happening. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna lay down with her. And once I like laid up, you know the popcorn ceiling.
Oh,
you start seeing the universe.
Oh yeah. So breathing, everything's moving.
Oh
connecting.
man, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I see why she's paralyzed now. Like,
But was that what? Were you both experiencing that same visual?
yeah.
You know? Oh
yeah.
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 Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
That's common when you look at the ceiling. It'll just do its thing.
It's just
Yeah.
cool that like he was just like, "What's going on? I'm
Yeah.
gonna lay down too," and then he's like, "Oh, okay." I
The
see."
proof was right there. I just had to look up. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
so that was good. And then we started dating after that. Me and that girl. So it's like a bonding moment.
It's a
you know?
bonding experience.
Yeah,
I was
it
about to
is.
say the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we did it on Valentine's Day. The next time.
So you're like, this is working for
This
me.
is love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. So we both got cocky. Both did 5 grams.
Together.
So this is last year Valentine's.
This is about. Yeah.
And you guys did this for Valentine's.
Yeah. I was surprised too. Yeah.
Were you one of those?
I offered it as a joke, and she's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I was like, "All right, let's do it."
Were you one of those couples that sent a text and then didn't get it for like 8 months? Do you know?
No, that was no.
Okay.
No.
I was waiting for this to turn into like a whole thing. Okay.
So yeah, we did 5 grams. That one was more mixed bag. You know what I mean?
It was just like.
It was a
random
lot.
shit happening?
Yeah. It was like, you know, Bits and Bites. Remember Bits and Bites?
The food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I hate pretzels.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? You grab a handful, you're like, fuck pretzels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just want to throw it back. Like I was getting like, we stayed in a hotel this time, and we saw like a homeless guy outside. I felt like so much empathy for the guy. Like,
were you on it at this point?
Yeah.
So you took 5 grams. How'd you take them?
What do you mean? Just like ate them?
You just had them out of the
This
bag.
guy said, "What do you mean?" He doesn't even know there's other ways.
You had
No,
them in a
wait.
tea, in a tea.
No, I just ate them.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, they're delicious.
In a peanut butter
The mushrooms
sandwich.
that I got were always delicious.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Sorry?
delicious. Each time, even the shitty time that I did mushrooms is delicious. Like,
Yo, this guy's built for this.
Because beast.
Because your tongue is different. Like it doesn't taste good.
really?
They don't taste good.
Maybe it's natural that I should be eating.
I
it.
actually
don't
really
know.
don't like the taste.
Really?
Traditionally.
I've never heard of anybody liking the taste.
Yeah?
Ever.
Oh, me and my girl. Fuck.
She liked it too?
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow, maybe
You guys-
they just tasted good.
They were made for each other.
Maybe I'll give you those next time. I still know the guy, so.
He has those sweet,
Yeah,
sweet
yeah.
shrooms, eh? Holy fuck.
Just like flavored with honey.
Yeah.
That would be smart.
So okay, so you just ate them, and
Yeah.
how long did it take for the onset?
That was still about like 45 minutes.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw these homeless people.
Yeah.
And you said you felt some empathy, which makes sense.
Yeah. I just got like really like warm and sad. Like everything was feeling good. And then I looked outside, saw this homeless guy. I got like warm and sad.
Oh, you saw him from outside. You were still inside.
Yeah, because it was winter and it was cold out.
Okay.
And like, I'm gonna be honest,
this is February, right?
up till that point, like, I didn't really, my empathy skills were lower. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So
like normally you would like,
I don't give a shit.
you would like kick a homeless guy, but in this case, you're feeling like, whoa,
No, absolutely not.
yeah, that's horrible. Do not.
No,
do
don't
that.
kick homeless people. Don't
So,
do that.
but on this time around, your empathy levels were higher. You're like, what's going on? I'm feeling something for this person.
Yeah, so I don't know if that changed me. That might have changed me permanently after that.
Let's talk about that.
Just seeing that, you know what I
We
mean?
were actually just listening to something where they talked about emotional evolution. Well, she called it something else, but I called it emotional evolution.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I believe it. Yeah.
Like it raised your
I think so.
ability
Yeah.
to feel empathy.
Yeah.
Is that something that happened, or it happens now, even though you're not on it anymore? Like, did it extend past the experience?
I think it still keeps growing. Like you said, it keeps evolving. You know what I mean? Like, I have nephew and nieces, and like up till that point, like just like my nephew and niece. You know what I mean?
I know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But then now it's just like completely different relationship.
Really?
At first,
Yeah.
you're just like, look at these animals. You can just kick
Basically,
them. You
yeah.
can just kick these
Basically,
kids.
basically.
No, I know what you mean.
Give them a chocolate every once in a while. Here, have a chocolate. Stay out of my way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you kind of like, at least I want them like, you know what I mean, just around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels good just to have them around.
Yeah, of course.
So I think my like evolution, emotionally did develop.
Wow.
Whether it was from mushrooms or not, maybe, I don't know, but it could have been the catalyst. So.
Well, yeah, it sounds like, was that like the first time you felt that when you saw that homeless guy?
Maybe not the first time, but to that level, yeah.
To that level for
Yeah.
someone that you really,
That I
really
don't know. Yeah.
How did it affect you in that moment? Like, how did you actually feel? Did you want to actually help him? Did you take any action? Did you think about it for like a longer period of time? Did it just like physically hurt you and put you in a bad mood or like a weird vibe or like?
Honestly, I was just staring at him, thinking like, what if that was me? You know what I mean? Like, not really what you could do, but like a hair on my face.
You're good.
But what were we saying? The homeless guy. Yeah, I just felt sad for a bit.
Yeah.
And I remember I just wanted to like talk to my girlfriend about it, and she was already on to the next thing.
Of course.
So I'm like, yeah, I can't like keep thinking about this guy. I gotta like go to my girlfriend. It's Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? So that like immediately, if she wasn't around, I probably would have had some other experience. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Who knows? I might have went down to go see the guy. You know what I mean? Like,
It was a memorable experience, but you had other priorities at the time. But you still remembered that moment. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That still stuck out to you.
Yeah.
Whereas like if she told the story, she probably wouldn't mention it.
No, she probably wouldn't even remember.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, when you saw this guy, how many minutes or hours are you in?
There's probably like an hour in.
Okay, so
Yeah.
are you seeing anything? Like
The ceiling
visuals?
thing again.
Of course.
Yeah.
You guys went right back to it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this
Yeah.
is the
You're
move.
like, get in bed, baby. This is where the
yeah. Look up. We put on. We tried to watch TV this time.
Okay.
Actually, I was trying to bang. I'm gonna be honest, but she
Really?
wasn't in the mood. Yeah.
On the 5, you were like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know if I'm usually in the mood to bang on
Oh, she wasn't feeling it at all though.
when I'm needy.
So we put on like
mushrooms.
Netflix, and we put on like some anime.
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
watched anime in my life,
Really?
but like, so remember I saw the homeless guy, started feeling bad, went back to my girlfriend, felt better. We put on Netflix, watching like anime.
Which
and it just
anime?
scared-
So he's feeling empathy for the people who watch anime.
Wait.
No, I'm not there yet. I'm not there in my life
Whole bunch
yet.
of first.
There in my life. Wait.
Yeah.
Which anime did you watch?
I don't know. It was
Can't
something
remember?
on Netflix. Nah.
It's crazy violent.
Yeah. Yo, I didn't like the guy's face was all sharp, like ting ting, and like it was crazy ass intro, like things flashing everywhere.
For sure.
And then again, I felt that like just like that, like
Yeah, Samurai Champloo.
It could have been.
could have been that.
Fucking best.
But what did you're saying you felt?
It just like scared the shit out of me, but like I couldn't look away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it just like I don't know. I think it scared both of us.
Really?
But yeah, I couldn't like look away, and then eventually did like turn it, but I don't know. It just like if I watched that sober, I wouldn't have felt anything. but just I guess being on a 5 grams, you know what I mean? I guess that did the trick.
Yeah, it seems like it's upping your sensitivity.
You were like kind of more focused on it. Your attention was grabbed for the duration of the episode, and you were kind of like into whatever was happening.
Yeah, I didn't even know what was happening.
You were being like, affected by it.
I was just looking at this guy's face, like just like in fear, like you know what I mean, like
just like zoning in on certain things that were like really fucking with you,
like the sharp face and like he's like looking right at you.
I had that once watching Fear and Loathing. It was like my second time taking mushrooms.
Yeah,
and they turned that on, and it was at the part where everybody's a lizard.
Right.
And I couldn't handle it. Me and my buddy both couldn't handle it, and we were like,
that's the middle point, right?
I think so.
Right, because that's where I stopped watching that movie.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't watch it.
A lot of people can't handle that part.
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of people, they turn off the movie.
I was on mushrooms when I was watching it. I was like, oh, I'm like, I need to see real people. Yeah. I'm like, I need to know people are real. I'm like, put real people on the screen. Right. And my buddy's just like, put real people on the screen. He's all purple and he's just like all high and shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was good, but it was bad. And when we closed our eyes, we could still see the movie playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and I'd never seen that movie before.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was very weird. Very weird.
What was your girlfriend doing while you were watching this anime?
Oh, she was stuck with me, just watching
She's loving this anime.
Yeah, because we went from watching the universe, like the ceiling, to the Netflix.
Okay, wow. So you guys did 5 grams. So what happened after this? You must have been getting even deeper, like 2 hours in.
Yeah, you know what? The empathy thing, because I started thinking about my mom and my brother. And like I have mom issues, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was. I still don't know to this day. Still trying to like figure out why my mind went to that.
If you have mother issues, because I've had mother issues and father issues.
Yeah.
And they come up when I take them. And usually it's just, it's like almost a signifying that there's something to be done there.
Right.
Like there's a conversation that should be had.
Right.
And then if you have issues, then it's like you're a whole rope and like you have a bunch of knots in one area.
Yeah.
And like your mom's the only one who can help you out of it. And like one day she'll be gone. So
yeah.
Like you should deal with it.
I used to like have or like still do, but yeah, when I would do mushrooms, I'll have all my relationships and experiences as like a web of thoughts that I can visit, and I can kind of like zone in on one section of it, and then it's just like there's more around that. It's just like fractal, right?
Right.
And sometimes it's you don't even have to necessarily have a conversation. Sometimes you do, but maybe it might be just seeing something in a different perspective. So like maybe your mom did something to you,
right?
Maybe you're expecting her to apologize to you.
Maybe
that's not
still
even
waiting.
Maybe that's not even on her radar. Right. And it's about you just sort of shifting your perspective so that you don't even expect an apology, and you're more interested in the time that you have left together. And that it could be something like that. Like, so you visit and then you just shift your perspective, and then you're like, cool, that's something that's not,
I could
really,
totally see that.
That's not a weight on my mind anymore.
That is a good window into your mind.
Is it? I don't know. It's something
that's a huge window.
It's something I heard at the Tony Robbins event when he went deep with one of the people.
That's what you do. That's what you do though.
I expect things from people.
No, you don't.
What do I do?
Like if something happens, you'll shift it and you'll be like, okay, I don't need to confront that person and get that apology. And then you'll have like this different understanding and move on from there.
Like a shift in perspective.
Perhaps I don't know what happens with you when you do it.
You're saying that's an observation, like that's what I just described is like something that I often do.
Yeah, because I've seen you like have things with people and not need that apology from them, and just like you said at one point, you're like, I need time from like a certain person.
Sure, time is a good thing.
Yeah. That's cool. So maybe you do that.
Yeah, because people are just people, and you don't want to like hold things against them. Because we all do like gray things, and
gray things.
You never know. You never know what the reasons are for why someone does something. So there's no reason to sort of like hold a grudge forever. And enough time goes by, you can sort of just go, hey.
That's what I had with my dad, because I had a lot of dad issues, but then he died before I could ask him why he disappeared, before I could ask him like anything. And naturally, slowly, I started having that. I started being like, okay, well, I'm addicted to weed. Okay, maybe this guy was having addiction problems. Maybe that's where I get it from.
Right.
Because he was like an alcoholic. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, when I can't get up and do things, I'm like, maybe that's what's happening with him.
Interesting.
Maybe he couldn't get up and do something.
And that's what forced him to do what he did. Yeah.
And he's just too fucked up all the time. Because I used to be too fucked up all the time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get shit done.
Huh.
And I was like, maybe that's what he was like.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
That's interesting.
But I will say, don't wait until that point to talk to your parents.
Right.
Because when they're gone, they're gone. It
Right.
Sucks when they're gone. So if there is an apology that you think there should be there, I wouldn't look for the apology, but I definitely have the discussion.
Yeah.
Because usually when you have the discussions, people just all of a sudden come up with the apologies. Because people know when to apologize.
Right.
So did you learn anything from having that experience where you were reflecting?
Yeah. You got reflective on your brother and your
You
mother.
were thinking about it. So where did it go from there?
I don't remember. Like, I remember I just started, like, I don't get too emotional, but I remember I started getting teary-eyed.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like, my mom's got her issues, so talking to her might not even be like the best thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with my brother, like, our relationship changed, like, because he's 11 years older, me and my brother.
Yeah, mine's 12. Yeah.
Yeah? Just you and him?
No, I have a middle one that's like 6 years older, but they're all like
Yeah.
far away from me in terms of age.
For me and him, it was just like, just me and him, 11 years older, so he was more of like a father figure.
Yeah.
So he was like 3 parents. You know what I mean? So I always felt like suffocated, like always doing something wrong, but like either my 2 parents or him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he can find you when they can't.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. And he'd rat me out sometimes. Like, yeah.
And he can fuck you up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm not even gonna pretend. Yeah. But yeah, our relationship got way better
After that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you like reach out? Did you?
I'm like very internal, so like I think whatever those thoughts I was having, or like whatever sensitivity, that emotion, like I think I took that as like, okay, I want to change the relationship. I know I can't with my mom, but with my brother, I was like, let's do it. So like I'd go over to his house more often, because with other people I go MIA for a long time. You know what I mean?
Too, yeah.
Like maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks I wouldn't like even text my brother before. 2-3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
Man, as you're saying this, I'm like, I haven't texted my brother in months.
Yeah. Oh, really?
We haven't even like seen each other.
Yeah.
We just randomly got thrown into a group chat together, and like, that's the only reason we started talking. Yeah, I got to do that too. So keep telling me. Tell me.
Yeah.
What did you do? You just decided that you're just gonna go there more.
Yeah.
Go around more.
See the kids more. My nephew and niece. Yeah. Yeah.
And he was just like accepting of that.
I think so. I think he wanted that, but like we're not from a vocal family, so it's like nobody really expresses what they want or need.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just like kind of took the initiative there.
You think you sensed that, or
I think so.
something
Yeah.
you?
I think he sensed that. Yeah, because he tried to like get closer to me before, but I wasn't ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like kind of still like fuming over stuff. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that family shit.
Yeah.
It, like,
But then I think that's what it was then. That it was like a moment of like, okay, now I'm ready.
yeah.
I think that's what that emotion was. When I got like teary-eyed in the hotel room.
Yeah.
So would you say you had like a shift in perspective, or?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like semi-mystical. When something just like completely
It
shifts.
sounds like he had a hero dose.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
Maybe not an ego death or whatever, but
Maybe not, no.
Or maybe a bit. I mean, for you to be able to get past whatever that was that you were dealing with.
There's definitely some blocks that were.
Because I know, yeah, exactly. I know I've had that same experience when I was thinking about family, and particularly my mom and my brothers, and I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to do what you've done. Like, I know that that's what I should do, but I haven't been able to do it. So I don't know. Something shifted big in you to be able to do it, because it's not easy.
No,
It's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
I even one time asked him, I'm like, yo, I have to have these conversations. Come with me. Because I'm like afraid they're going to be like, fuck you.
Yeah. Get off the drugs, Colin. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, fuck. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Very cool.
Same type of family, too. Non-vocal. Nobody says anything about
Yeah.
anything.
So how did that end? How did that trip end? Did you just go to sleep after? Did you talk about it with your girlfriend?
Nah. My girlfriend's not as philosophical as me. Like, I try to break things down to like just like as much as I can.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend just gets tired of it. It's just like, let's talk about something fun. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, actually,
Talk about something.
like every other time, we just like
What are fun topics?
fun topics. Kardashians, I guess. Like,
Yeah, like
that's a fun topic.
what Kanye's been up to.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Kind of looking at external rather than internally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like how we ended the night, we smoked more weed. You know what I mean?
course.
Yeah, and yeah, compared to the first time doing mushrooms, like the 2.5, this was way crazier. Like I felt the waves come on like very strong.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But the next time, the 10 grams, that was the next time.
Before we get into that, I was
Sure.
wondering why did it take you so long to actually do mushrooms for the first time? What stopped you? Did you have something against it? It just never came up.
Never really thought about it. Like, all through, up until I was like 19, 20, I was just playing basketball.
True.
Yeah. Like, my dad wanted me to go to Europe, play there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, like you're good.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm only like 5, I'll say 6 foot, because it's going on the internet.
I think you are about like I'm 6 foot. We're about the same height.
No, I think I'm like 5'10". But the basketball shoes got like the high, you know what I mean?
True.
Yeah. What was I saying about that? Yeah, so he wanted me to go play in Europe. My mom was like, no, he has to finish school.
True.
I'm like, Mom, like nobody wants a 25-year-old rookie, you know what I mean? Like,
True.
But you were focused for a while.
yeah. So super focused. Didn't smoke weed till I was like 19 as well.
Wow.
Like the first time, yeah. And I hit it hard once I was like 21. I'm like,
of course.
discovered it just hitting bong rips like all day. Like,
So true. Yeah. Yeah, I got heavy into it too.
yeah.
It's a perspective shift.
When I was 12, 13.
Yeah. Oh, but why it took so long? I don't know. I think I got into different things. Like got into comedy. You hear Joe Rogan talk about it.
Of course.
George Carlin. You know what I mean? Like these are all guys that like talking about like mind expansion. I'm like, oh, mind expansion. All right. So I think I got super into that. Like
True.
started like reading about it. I was always against like doing man-made stuff. You know what I mean? Like the coke and MDMA.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe weed was my gateway drug to mushrooms, but you know what I mean? But like,
What do you think one of the big misconceptions are for people doing mushrooms or thinking about doing mushrooms?
one of the misconceptions, honestly, I don't even know.
Or did you have any of your own at any point?
I think it was just more fear of the unknown.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
yeah.
That's like probably the biggest one.
And then once I came to terms with like you can't die, I was like, let's try it. Yeah. I think I was at a point in my life where I was also like, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it was in a very like nihilistic place. Whatever happens, happens. And I think that was like the final straw. Yeah.
Did your experiences change your perspective on death at all?
On death?
Yeah.
After the third and final time.
Right. So let's hear it.
Yeah. The big one.
Can I just ask real quick? You said like you didn't care. Was that like a depression, I don't care, or like just like a let's have fun, I don't care?
I think it stemmed from like a bunch of shit being thrown your way, and you're spending like your whole time just like blocking all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at some point you're just like whatever. You know what I mean?
True.
Just like whatever happens, happens.
Okay.
I'm gonna live my life. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah. Like parents are always like, you gotta get married, do this and this, and then you know that's kind of like in your subconscious. Like you're like they want me to do that, gotta do that. And at this point, I was just like, nah. I'm just gonna do me. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, I'm going to learn the hard way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna do it the hard way.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
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 That's cool. Wow. You're a true, what's it called? A psychonaut?
A psychonaut?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's like somebody who's like a psychedelic astronaut.
Someone who explores the mind.
You're down to blast off.
Yeah.
Because that's like it's a really open attitude to have about it.
Yeah.
I wish a lot of people had that attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was the next time? 10 grams. Where was that?
That's a monstrous dose. I've been hearing people call it that.
That's very large.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Stratosphere.
I did 14, but 10 and 14, I think they're in the same realm.
I don't know, man. 14 is still a lot.
I think it's, well, let's hear it. We'll see.
Okay. So this was a mostly bad experience, but I think I did everything that you weren't supposed to do. So we invited 2 other people. Did it with my girlfriend again.
Okay.
But we did it with like 2 other people that we're like kind of close with, but we didn't know too much about them.
Right.
And you start to like learn more about them as we're on it.
no.
It's like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
Sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
oh man, it felt like a movie. Like I remember at one point, I like looked over at the guy, and he just looked like a crackhead to me.
Oh no.
Just out of nowhere, I'm like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? I just felt like, yeah.
Nothing against.
And like
crackheads.
his girlfriend, I was pretty sure like his girlfriend was like hitting on me. I'm like, man, I don't know if I could say no even at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
it was just like so much stuff happening. It was crazy. I ended up puking like half an hour into it.
Okay, so this is right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So you're already tripping, and then you're puking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And you just ate them again right out of the bag,
yeah,
like savage.
those
You
delicious,
ate 10 grams.
those delicious mushrooms. Oh, maybe that's why, because it's so delicious. Yeah. It was like chips. Oh man, it's good.
I would love to see his mushrooms, and he just brings a bag of chips.
Just-
Like, these are mushrooms, right? They're just ruffles. I'm like,
Sure.
what the fuck?
Placebo effect. Yeah. It's all in the mind.
Wow. 10.
Okay, so you're puking.
Savage. Savage.
So I don't even know to this day, because when I puked, it looked like I puked blood. Yeah, and I didn't tell anybody because I felt like I was gonna freak everybody else out. So I just like kept it inside.
You're like the guy who got bit by a zombie, but you're like, I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah. I don't want them to freak
You're
out.
like, fuck
yeah.
this. I don't want anyone to freak out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so
that was the beginning of the bad trip.
Yeah, that put you in a bad headspace, I imagine.
Yeah.
But was it blood?
I
I
don't-
don't know to this day.
I don't think so. I think I hallucinated that.
Okay.
Because I definitely saw stuff this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense then.
Yeah. But like just leading up to it, I'm like, oh man, this isn't good. I never got like that stomach rumbling before.
Right, you ate 10 grams of mushrooms.
Yeah.
They're in your belly. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, man.
I understand that.
Yeah.
You're a savage.
Did you feel that on the 14?
Bro, I didn't eat 14. I took 7 grams and made a tea, and then I ate the other 7 grams. But they were all in capsules. So it was already grounded up, and I like took them all out. And I just kind of like, oh.
So it absorbs better into your stomach or what? Like,
No, I was dumb. Like, it was just a dumb thing to do. I didn't really have to do that, but I was like, I don't want to microdose. I'm just gonna take these. I'm just gonna take all of it.
Yeah.
Because I was like already in silence and darkness, and I was like, let's just see how this goes.
oh, you did in the dark.
Completely dark.
Oh,
complete
man.
silence, and just had headphones on,
Huh.
just to block out everything, and I just closed my eyes.
Damn.
And then I turned on a MP3 of myself talking.
Really?
Yeah, telling me good things and good affirmations and stuff.
Huh.
It's good to block out your senses on mushrooms, and you go deep in your mind
Yeah, I went deep for like an hour and a half,
Explore
and then I
more.
was like, okay, I'm done.
instead of
going
all this
deep.
external like, distractions.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I didn't do it like you did. The way you did it is fucking crazy.
That's hilarious.
Like,
So you had a couple of people you didn't really know too well.
Yeah.
You did a lot of mushrooms, like gunshot, basically.
Yeah.
Did you eat before? Or was it an empty stomach situation?
Actually, that's a good question. I don't even remember. I don't remember if I ate. But my girlfriend was at the Major Lazer concert. So, like, picked her up. She had a few drinks. So she mixed, like, alcohol with it.
did she do 10?
She did 10 as well.
No way.
Yeah.
Who is this lady?
Yeah. Yeah. I moved in with her, so yeah.
I would too. Fuck.
Where are we at?
You did it. You've puked.
I puked. I'm just holding in.
And
like,
you're not telling anybody.
No, I just have it in my head because, like, I don't want to scare my girlfriend and, like, these two.
Change the whole vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. And those other two, like, they done, like a lot of coke, like, on, like, weekends and stuff, like, those party animals. I mean, they go out to a club and just, like,
They
do
bang it.
Molly or whatever.
Yeah.
They never did mushrooms. So they're kind of looking at us as, like, the leaders. You know what I mean? I think that maybe that's why I got cocky. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
But they only did,
This is the third mistake here. Guiding some newbies.
Yeah. I know, guys. I know.
Going hard.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So they probably did like 3 grams, and they were definitely feeling it.
Okay.
And I remember at one point, everybody just got really like weird, and like I remember somebody said like, it's really hot in here, and then like everybody felt it, and everybody's like, man, it is hot. Like I remember like the guy, I won't say his name. I almost said his name. Shit. So he went by the window. His girlfriend was like on the floor with like almost curled up, and like my girlfriend started feeling a weird way. I felt a weird way, and we were all in this weird headspace for like probably about like I would say half an hour.
It's so weird. Everybody will like feel the same thing.
Yeah, like it was almost like this doom like situation. Like
you can like feel each other's sort of like emotions or vibes. Just like changes the whole room.
And plus you're all like going into this psychedelic realm at the same time, kind of.
And I remember at one point, this is actually one of the good things I realized in hindsight. So everybody's freaking out, and then I don't know, I put it on myself to be like almost like the leader, to be like, let's get out of this type thing, you know what I mean?
Oh, get out of this space.
Because like everybody was feeling it.
Okay.
And I don't remember what I did, but I remember I had that like instinct to like, I don't remember what I did. I was high on 10 grams of mushrooms.
So my instincts kicked in.
So even though I had like that internal battle of like, oh, I just puked, I don't even know what's happening, I still like found that like energy to like just get everybody in a better space.
Wow.
So these guys ended up in a better space. Meanwhile, I'm still with the pukes thing. I'm like, what's going on with it? Yeah.
Wow, what a shaman. Wow.
You
need to take lead like that and do that? That's probably what shamans have to deal with all the time.
That's great.
That's not usually me, though. I'm not usually, like, the leader guy.
Really?
Yeah. I'm more, like, do my own thing guy.
But for some reason, you felt like you had to pull everybody out of it?
I felt like I had to, yeah.
They say mushrooms induce courage and kindness, which are leadership skills.
I can see that.
So maybe something was happening there.
I can see that, yeah.
You felt like you were the experienced one. You're like, I need to do something. I need to do something, or else this is gonna go bad for everybody.
Yeah.
How can I turn this around? So what'd you do?
Honestly, I don't remember what it was, but like, I remember they felt better about it. We put on like South Park. But you know how like mushrooms, I don't know if you guys feel it, like the waves, it comes in waves, right?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. And that's what I realized about life too. Like life comes in waves, you know what I mean? Like you get the good and but then that bad's gonna come, but again, it's just a wave, so I mean, just kind of like stick it out.
Yeah, it's part of the flow. There is no good without the bad.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you know the difference?
Yeah, exactly. But the waves were just coming on strong. You know what I mean? I thought it was gone. Like, the anxiety was gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm safe. You know what I mean? It's like running away from a killer. You're like, okay, I'm good. And then it just comes back,
That's a good analogy.
And I'm hiding it. I think this trip lasted like 7 hours.
Definitely.
It was a long time.
Wow. It had to be.
So what else happened? Was it like more reflecting time? Did you guys just watch a lot of TV? Did you talk to each other?
My girlfriend, so all 4 of us on a bed. Like a queen size bed. My girlfriend's paralyzed. This other girl is like hitting on me.
You guys are going for the ceiling again, right?
Oh yeah.
Hey, you're like, I know the move, guys. Let's go.
Everybody in the bed.
So the other guy puts on South Park, and at one point his girlfriend goes, "Why is it so loud?" And it was on max. It was on level 100.
Oh, no.
It's 3 a.m.
Oh, no. Been there.
And then that's when, like, I guess you need, or maybe I need somebody to, like, tell me something's happening for me to, like, react to it. Because I didn't notice the volume.
Your sensory awareness gets a little bit warped when you're on mushrooms.
Happens to this guy all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Just ridiculous loud. He'll be like, well, what's going on? You're like, oh, is it loud? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then he'll click in and be like, yeah, that was loud.
Yeah, that was very loud.
Oh,
in the basement with roommates upstairs. Oh, is it 3 a.m? Was that too loud?
But so I had that leadership moment earlier, and then with that, like, when it was loud, like, he still wasn't turning it down, right? Like,
it's like he stole your move. You played South Park, but then like he played South Park.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Some
So-
like alpha male shit going on.
Yeah. So he wasn't turning it down, and I didn't. I already had that thing like, oh, he looks like a crackhead. Like, I can't trust this guy.
Oh man.
And
But he's
I-
in your bed though.
Yeah, he's in my bed.
Okay.
Opposite side. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait.
The
for
wrong
this,
side
I
of
can't
the
wait
bed.
for this guy to hear this and know that you're talking about.
Oh
him.
man, yeah. So he thinks I'm a crackhead.
And were you hitting on him?
Yeah. Oh shit, yeah. All right, well, I think their relationship's done then.
Nah, it's just the realm you were in.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
is like misinterpreted.
You know what?
because-
Maybe I was projecting. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Right. Well, you know what? We were just listening to a video and the woman's talking about it. It's like some people feel like their brain's being defragged like a hard drive kind of thing. So you were being defragged. So
Yeah.
everything was,
Yeah.
left and right and up
Right.
and down.
So what happened with the volume? Did you get it turned down?
I wasn't able to, like, his girlfriend had to get him to do it, but like I wasn't able to step in and be like, hey man, can you like turn it down? Like, she already like said it's loud. So for some reason I didn't have it within me to like confront what I thought was the crack. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. So
weird.
I don't know why. It's weird, like that dynamic. Earlier I was like the leader, and then this time I was like scared to like do it.
Comes in waves.
Yeah, exactly. I was probably in that negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And honestly, I thought that trip would never end. Never.
What happened next? You guys must have gotten out of the bed at some point.
Not really. Actually, we got a hotel with like a jacuzzi in it.
Oh,
Me and
wow.
my girlfriend always get like, whenever we go to a hotel, we need a jacuzzi.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got like bath bombs. So we wanted to do bath bombs the whole time, right?
Bath bombs are great.
Yeah, I love bath bombs. Nobody understands why I love bath bombs, man.
That's what I did with my girl. 3rd anniversary. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, jacuzzi, bath bombs.
Yeah.
Let's go. Lavender, bro.
And I thought that would be a cool trip in itself, just to watch the like bath. We didn't even need the bath bombs with this trip. You know what I mean?
They help, though.
Yeah.
It's so cool to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. What else happened with this one? Yeah, we watched like, I remember finally coming down at like 5 a.m. Like 5 a.m. I think we did it at like 11 p.m.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But I remember just like up until then, my brain was like, I don't think this is ending. I think you're like this forever.
No,
You know what
no.
I mean? Yeah. Did you ever get that?
Yep, I've gotten that a few times. The time, like I've talked about the story many times, where I ended up naked in a washroom.
Oh.
I had a lot of that. A lot of things coming in waves. A lot of like I'm gonna die, and then all of a sudden everything's fine. Like a lot of everything you're saying, really.
Huh.
In that experience, and that was my most difficult experience that I've ever had.
Was that after the 14?
No, that was just a random time. I took 3.5, which for me I considered very light. But I was watching Clockwork Orange.
Oh,
And
okay.
I didn't know about that movie and
Right.
how fucked up it is.
Yeah.
So it put me in a negative space.
Damn.
Yeah, really negative.
How old were you on that?
I was pretty young. I was like 31,
Wait, how old are you now?
33.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'm very mature.
I was always comforted by the idea that that I wouldn't stay that way, that it was going to end. I'm like, yeah, this can't keep going.
Right.
This will just end. So
Interesting.
I always had that awareness. Like,
Keep that in mind is a good
maybe
thing.
not
Yeah.
maybe not like the first time. I remember kind of like losing my mind the first time I did them
Yeah.
a little bit. In terms of like we kept like losing track of time. Time was warped.
Right.
So we would ask every minute, we would be like, what time is it? And then this series of events would happen. And then by the time we would get back to asking what time it was, it would be like a minute later.
Right.
And that would drive us a little bit like mad. And at one point I had to break the cycle.
Yeah.
So I was like, we have to be in different places. So
Right.
like I went upstairs and my other friend went in the basement and my other friend just stayed on the same floor.
And that helped?
And then after like 10 minutes or so, we like worked it out. We got back together. I think we went back into the loop though. I
sure.
think, but I think
sure.
it was more like of a funny thing instead of a aggravating thing
Right,
at that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
We got more into a better vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pattern was a little crazy.
That's so funny.
Actually, can I tell you what I think got us out of
This
that?
can last forever.
So, you know Jim Norton?
Of course.
Yeah, so the comedian Jim Norton. Whenever he always says like silly goose. He'll like
Yeah.
call somebody a silly goose. And I just thought like that was the silliest thing ever, right? And so like I remember just putting on my phone, like I just typed in silly goose to see if like that would do anything. So I just put on the first video. Now everybody's like over my shoulder just watching this video at like 5 or 6 a.m. And it's like this kid song where it's like, you're a silly goose, I'm a silly, yeah. And so it's got this like, everybody's into it. And all of a sudden they're like, you're a silly goose. And we all felt it. We all felt like persecuted. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was crazy.
Oh, the video said that to you?
Yeah.
Oh, and they point at you.
Yeah. They're like, no, you're a silly goose. And it was that moment of like, oh fuck, that felt real. Like somebody just telling us, and we all burst out laughing. Like,
wow.
And so that was the final thing to like get us back to reality.
That is hands down the best way to end the trip.
That's amazing.
Hands down.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a better way. Is to put on a video, and at the end, the guy points at you, calls you a silly goose.
Yeah.
Wow, that's perfect.
It doesn't sound like you really had like a bad trip per se. It was just like not.
The anxiety was out
It wasn't
of
as
this
good as the other two.
No, man, just the anxiety was like.
But you know what? You have to remember.
So bad. Like,
Yeah.
The awkwardness and like what's gonna happen next, the unknown. Like you don't know these people.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how you feel about all these things.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff came up and just that was maintained throughout most of the night. And you're like,
Yeah.
how do I change this? I'm just gonna roll with it. Fuck.
Exactly. Yeah. Just trying to roll with the punches.
Yeah. Yeah, because what I was gonna say is I think what might make you feel like it was a bad time was the amount of time you had to spend like that.
I think so. Yeah. And
Like if they were like, hey, we have to go home, and it was like 2 a.m, that would have been like,
that would have felt better.
cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Now
It would
I'm
have been
in my
him
own
and his
space
girl.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. What do we do? Oh, ceiling time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, I think I did like too many things that you're not supposed to do. Yeah. You know, like, from the amount of mushrooms to like the people. Yeah.
Speaking of things you should do, in any of those experiences, did you ever set up an intention for anything to happen? Like I know you had that amazing shift, like family wise and stuff, but do you ever go into it like I want to examine X about myself?
I wanted to see some like extraterrestrial stuff.
You
know
just
what I
wanted
mean?
to see some
Yeah.
shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because
I
like
get
hearing
that.
about Bill Hicks, you know what I mean? He said how him and his 3 friends watched the sky and then like something burst out of the sky and told them like everything about the world. Yeah.
Really? I've never heard that story.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. I don't know if it was mushrooms or acid, but I think it was mushrooms.
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to see.
True.
Just some like extra knowledge, I guess. You know what I mean?
You'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think. I mean, I
Yeah.
took it for years without seeing anything.
Right.
I would take it and just like feel a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
and be thinking about things, and things would like get organized in my mind, but I'd never hallucinate at all. Like nothing. And then one day it just happened. Like I was at this guy's place and I was like staring at like a screen or something I thought was a screensaver or something. And it just started moving, and I'm like, it took me 20 minutes to comprehend that it was moving only in my mind. Cause like I couldn't
Your mind was making the pattern of everything just moving on the screen, right?
It was like picture of the universe, and the stars were just like shifting and moving.
Oh, yeah, that's a great picture.
Yeah, and I kept going. I'm like, where did you get this? I'm like, how is this doing
That's
this?
right. I
And
remember.
he was on it too, so he's just like, yeah, it's moving. And I'm like, but is it actually? And he's like, yeah. And then he'd be like, no, and I'd be like, but it is. And it took me a while. I'm like, oh my god, my mind's doing it. I'm like, oh my god, it's happening finally. It wasn't a pink elephant or anything, but I was like, this is what it is. I'm seeing things, and that took like a good few years.
What did you like learn from your last experience? What would you say? What was your takeaway?
I started believing in like brain frequencies.
Oh,
Yeah. Which I always thought was kind of
Like connecting people together?
yeah,
Like, okay.
like some sort of telekinesis that we can't explain. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's a lot of times where like you're, I don't know, you think you're thinking about the same stuff or you know what I mean, feeling the same stuff.
yeah.
Or like you think about someone, then they call you.
Yeah. I remember one time I was like working one time, and I just had a Wu-Tang song stuck in my head, and like Raekwon specifically, and then this other guy, literally like 30 seconds later, I wasn't singing the song out loud, but he's like Raekwon the chef, and like that's one of those things. I was like, yo, what the hell is this?
That's
Like,
so weird.
yeah.
That is weird.
So that's like almost like extra validation to, you know, what to experience about like the brain waves being synced up.
I think
They say your ideas and thoughts, they pass through you. They do not belong to you.
Huh.
Yeah. I think they come to like whoever's like working.
You know, when you
the
have like
hardest.
a moment where you're in the zone
Yeah.
and you're just like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
It's like
Damn.
I actually just made a thing about that, talking about how like we're like slaves to like creativity, because like once it comes, it's just like it kind of just uses you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he has the skills, okay, he knows what to do.
Right.
Give it to this guy.
Yeah.
And if you don't use it, it just jumps to somebody else. But
That's
definitely-
interesting.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I definitely believe in brain frequencies.
Yeah.
I listened to the brain frequency training for like 3 years straight. It like helped in my life a lot.
So it was like the negative vibe of the space that you were in with the other people that made you believe in brain frequencies because
think so.
Because of how it affected you. That's
Yeah,
what you're telling me.
True.
I think so, yeah.
So was it really a negative trip?
Ooh. Damn.
There's no bad trips. There's only difficult ones.
It sounds
Yeah.
like, sounds like you
You
grew.
said shirts. That's the first shirt.
Okay.
No bad trips.
There's no bad trips.
Only difficult ones.
Yeah, you're right, actually, yeah.
It's a mug.
That's pretty dope. I didn't even think about that.
That's a skipping rope.
Could be.
Yeah, so you didn't think about that. So that's what I'm hearing. I didn't expect you to say that as a takeaway, but it makes sense.
Like the brain frequencies? Yeah. I always had this like thing that's like, oh, crazy people talk about, brain frequencies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's maybe not pushed out. Maybe within my family it was, you know what I mean? Just that person's crazy, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I got to a point where I was like, yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes it's more interesting to think about what we don't know.
Yeah.
You're a hippie.
Instead of thinking that we know everything.
Yeah.
Right? Just like, oh, like what questions are there to ask? What is there to
Yeah.
explore? And then sometimes you can be like, that's bullshit, like flat earthers.
Yeah.
The brain frequency thing is definitely true, though. I've had it with this guy a bunch of times. I've had it with many people. Like I remember this one so clearly. I opened the door and he's standing there, and I'm like, "Did you call?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Did you ring the doorbell?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "How long have you been here?" He's like, "Just got here."
Huh.
I'm like, "Okay, cool."
It's like a magnet.
Very weird.
Just brought you in.
That's happened like a bunch of times with us. Sometimes I'm like, "Is he doing it?
Yeah.
Does he have
just fucking with
fucking
you.
mind control? Feels
Yeah.
like he's fucking with me all the time."
Sometimes you're just in flow. You just have to.
Yeah.
You surrender to things.
Is that why I brought all my equipment here and I leave it here? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Is he control? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Mind control.
We just figured something out.
He's got
level
you.
10.
Man,
cool, man.
that I'm so glad I didn't inquire into like what you've done at all, because I'm so surprised by that.
Yeah.
10. I did not think you'd say 10 grams.
No.
What else did you learn from your trip?
Huh. That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like I've internalized everything like that happened. I don't know.
You took it in and you're you're using it, because the fact that he did the whole shift with your brother, that's much bigger than I think. If people are listening to this episode, I think that's the biggest thing. That's like huge, because that's so hard for people to do that don't come from families that do that.
Yeah.
Because
really hard. Yeah.
You're the only one doing it. And
You're being the vulnerable one here.
You're being the leader.
Yeah. Leader. Yeah.
and you have to guess if it's gonna like work.
Yeah. Going out on a chance. Yeah. On a whim.
And that changes not just your life, but then your brother.
Yeah. The kids.
Wife, the kids.
Yeah.
Like, and then they grow up differently.
Yeah.
Because you're around. Like that changes a bunch of lives.
Yeah.
When you
That's
step
true,
up
man.
like that. That's like the biggest thing to me.
I didn't even think about it to that level. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
That's huge. They can grow up differently. Cause who knows?
That's true, yeah.
One of them starts fucking dabbling in mushrooms. And
Yeah.
fucking Uncle Mark's like, hold on,
Yeah.
buddy. Let me tell you something, buddy.
it's funny. Like me.
So-
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying how like me and the kids have such a good relationship now. Like my brother's kids.
Yeah.
Like his nephew, my nephew will just like tell me how he'll sneak the laptop, the iPad, before he's supposed to wake up. So he's like telling me his secrets.
His criminal
I'll keep
activities.
I'll keep it. I won't be like your dad and snitch. Like so.
You tell him a story about how your dad snitches on you.
Yeah,
and then you're like, don't worry, I'm not
Don't
like
be
that.
like yeah.
See, that's amazing to have that. To have that little thing, it's like it's the iPad now, and when he's like 17, it's like I had sex with a girl without a condom, and I felt like you were the only person I could come to and tell.
Yeah. Like, you're
and
right.
then all
yeah.
of a sudden, like, you're like, hey, did you get Plan B? And he's like, what's that? Come with me. What's
Hurry
that
up.
girl's
Yeah,
number?
yeah.
You dumb fuck.
Yeah. But that's true. Actually, I didn't realize that. It's inspired a whole new set of events.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It sets some shit in motion. For
yeah.
you.
The openness that I never got with my family. Damn.
Yeah, man.
Truth bombs right here.
Fuck.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm
That's
gonna cry.
amazing. Crying to
Camera
this
zooms
camera.
in. Like,
So yeah, you said earlier that you wouldn't do psychedelics again, and that you were kind of hoping that we'd convince you. I'm just wondering if you'd do psychedelics again.
you know what? I'm being such a pansy still because I got a nut allergy out of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah. And so I don't know if it's from the mushrooms or like weird stuff I was putting in my body.
You're allergic to what? Peanuts now?
Yeah. Just out of nowhere.
Like you'll die type of allergy
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
For
Yeah.
real?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's related to mushrooms, but my brain is just like, nah, don't do it. Don't do it.
How much? How old are you right now?
31.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Like I have onset allergies. Like
Uh-huh.
I just got allergies when I turned 30.
Really?
Like,
Like,
it just,
from food or?
No, like when it's like changing seasons.
Really?
Like that was never a thing with me. And then like I went to a doctor and they're like, yeah, you're allergic to grass, ragweed, this, that. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like,
Yeah.
since when? I'm like,
Damn.
I've always been good. But now when it gets to spring, it's like I'm a coke addict or something.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh my God. Oh God. I just need some reactant.
Yeah.
Sure, buddy.
So I think that's the only thing. I have like weird allergies now. And I'm like, I don't know if I eat. Because my doctor, I want to ask my doctor, like, can I eat fucking magic mushrooms? But
The doctor's gonna be like, no,
yeah,
you don't even have to
I
finish
know,
your
yeah.
sentence.
Yeah, yeah.
Please stop doing that.
Because he's so conservative. He's like, even about weed.
Oh,
He's
really?
Like, yeah, don't smoke weed.
Oh, he's
Like,
like
I
one of
can't
those
stop
guys.
smoking weed. Like, you know, what I mean, that's
He's
my
like,
nighttime.
he's like, Doc, that's a no go.
That's impossible. Yeah.
Unless it's killing me right now, that's
Yeah.
a no go, sir.
So that's the only thing. I don't know. I feel like I'm scared that I might just like choke on it and die. You know what I mean?
You know what I think? I think you're really close to having an ego death, and that the ego knows it and it's keeping you away from them. Because it sounds like you haven't had a dramatic ego death, and that seems like it's next on your list because you've already hit some milestones.
The hero
in
dose?
my opinion. Well, it's just the milestones in the sense of like what you've accomplished
Right.
through doing these things, or what
Yeah.
the things you felt and stuff. And so that is a thing that happens with some people. I had a friend that had that going on. I
Yeah.
think that was going on with him for a long time. There was like a good 8 months where I was like, hey, why don't you do mushrooms? And he's like, no.
Nah. Interesting. So you
And
think
it-
it's resistance?
And his ego was
So
inflamed.
I would say, yeah, I would do mushrooms once a year since I was 14, and
Yeah.
I have had only positive experiences typically, even like challenging experiences
Yeah.
that, you know, something you learn something from,
Huh.
I would consider positive. But
Yeah.
you know, I was in a place where I had a lot of time, and I had some mushrooms, and I wasn't doing the mushrooms. It's just like I have all this free time, and I have the mushrooms, and I like the mushrooms. Why am I not doing the mushrooms?
Yeah.
And and I haven't, and I just, it took me a long time. I was thinking
You
about
have-
it for a long time,
you
and
have
I thought
access, you have access.
I
You
had-
don't have the mushroom.
I had access to mushrooms, and I was just wondering, man, what's stopping me? And
Yeah.
just it hit me one day. I'm like, maybe it's the ego. When you do mushrooms, it dissolves your ego. Your ego is your attachments to the world, everything that you know, your personality, what you like, what you dislike, everything that is you.
Huh.
So I was thinking, oh man, maybe my ego was in control, and it was like this force that was just saying, don't do the mushrooms, go do something else, and I distract myself. And I think that's what Colin's like sort of alluding to.
Yeah. Well, we also had that mutual friend. He had the exact same thing. He was like fighting that.
Yeah, that's right.
whole
So
time.
if you don't surrender to the experience, then yeah, you could have a much more challenging experience, which that's where bad trips tend to come from.
Right.
Is when you're faced with a hero dose and an ego death, but you're just like, no, I can control this.
Right. Yeah.
And the answer is
That
that
never
you
works.
can't. Yeah. So that's interesting.
It's really hard.
But yeah, have you ever thought about like microdosing?
I thought
to
about
see
it.
if you're allergic, to see if anything happens. Do like a little bit, and then you're like, oh, this didn't like kill me. And then you do more, and you're like, oh, this didn't kill me.
Maybe.
Because I don't think your allergy has anything to do with like, you know, you tripping out. I don't think it's related necessarily.
No.
You're like connecting these two things.
Yeah. I'm kind of stretching, but like, I don't know. You never know. Like, I remember I was eating like a sandwich, and my lip just swelled up. And I'm like, this has never happened.
Just don't
Oh
have
my
them.
God.
Don't
Yeah.
have them in a peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah,
sandwich.
I would hate to have that kind of fear. The person that I'm talking, like another friend, he had the same kind of thing, an allergy,
Yeah.
and he would use that as an excuse.
Oh, really?
He'd be like, "Yeah, it's allergy. Yeah, it's
Oh, for real?
allergy. Yeah." So it happens. Like, it's not abnormal for people to feel that way and to want to like
Interesting.
distance themselves from it. And plus, it's like it's a heavy. Like, I haven't done a hero dose since that last time. I'm coming up on a year actually, and that's not usual for me. I do like 3 a year usually.
Oh, really?
4 or 5 a year usually. And yeah, this year I have not. And I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, it's like having a room filled with laundry, and I'm like,
Yeah.
do it right
Yeah.
that's what it feels like. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do it.
Or leave the house.
Yeah, it's definitely something to deal with. It's not like for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I read that that reishi mushroom actually helps with seasonal allergies.
Really?
Not with peanut allergies though, but it's definitely not inducing allergies.
That's pretty cool.
That's actually a good one. I was just thinking of something. I want to know if either of you guys have heard about it.
Yeah.
People are intentionally having horrific trips.
No.
Yeah, it's called like intentional horror tripping.
No.
Yeah.
Horror trip.
Yeah, they're like intentionally inducing like
It's
really
it's like those anger rooms where you smash things.
almost like like the same kind of vibe to it. They're making
What does that do? Is that the whole like there is no good without the bad?
Yeah,
and
I
they
think
just go
it's-
hard on bad.
Yeah, they go hard on bad, and I think they go deep into like shadow work. And shadow work, if you don't know, is like when you're dealing with like the darker parts of yourself.
Yeah.
And like bringing them to the light so you can like understand yourself more, not get rid of it, but like understand your duality in yourself, your dark and light. Yeah, so they're doing that heavy to themselves. I don't know what that entails, but I just heard about
I
it.
wonder what other practices are gonna be unfolded as mushrooms become normalized.
So, you know, even you guys saying ego death, I feel the resistance in myself just like with the term, you know what I mean? Like, what's an example of ego death? Like, like, how do you experience it?
I've had a few. I mean, I don't think it ever dies. I think it just gets exposed, and then you can see it, and you're like, "Hey, you're there. What the fuck?"
yeah,
And
just
the
the
ego's like,
term.
"Shit, you want to get your dick sucked somewhere?"
Your ego doesn't like disappear. Like it ebbs and flows sort of thing.
So-
and the mushrooms sort of put it into check, you could say. But
Yeah, exactly. And I guess one of the ego deaths I had, I was thinking about an ex-girl. I was thinking about a girlfriend who cheated on me, and I was thinking of how could somebody do that, and how could somebody be that way. And I had this click that because I have like a non-vocal family, we don't gather around each other. Jewish families tend to be like closer knit. Like the people in my area, they're very close knit. So their families are really like good with each other. And I had the realization that she was able to treat me that way because she had such a good family to turn to, and I only had her. So I had this weird realization that not having a family was like the reason that I felt so much anger to her.
Interesting.
And I just started crying like profusely, like a lot. Like my mom heard me. Like it was loud. Like it was really loud. And it was very cleansing. And then I just realized how much I need my family. Wow. And that felt like an ego death per se, because I felt so vulnerable, and I felt very small, and I felt very almost like kid-like, you know? Like, yeah, it was weird.
It's almost like a reset button.
it's like something you normally would have pushed down in a way.
Well, yeah,
So you
like
broke
pushed
through
down.
that,
Like
so-
it wouldn't even a push down. It's like the ego would have stepped in and been like, "She's a bitch. Shut up."
Right.
You know, she's just a bitch. What do you mean? She's just a whore. Like, you don't have to get into all this. What are we doing all this for? Like, you know, the ego is very surface level, so it's like we can just like suck this up and like move on to other things that make us feel big and good. You know, like let's go work out. Let's do something that we're good at. But yeah, none of that was there. So it was just like I got confronted with that, and I cried for like 30 minutes, which is like never happened for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you ever afraid of what an ego death will do to you though? Like,
No, I've never been afraid of what's going to happen to me when I take psilocybin.
yeah.
I've always been happy to have the potential to have change in me,
Right.
because it's been hard to find in other places. So anytime I'm doing it, there's always a little bit of fear.
Yeah.
Like as I'm doing it, like as I'm making a tea, I'm like, this is a lot. It's anxiety. I'm like, okay, like I do this. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah,
things are gonna change.
Yeah.
And like I get a
To
little bit of
change,
that,
yeah.
but like never with the ego death. I'm never afraid that I'll get stuck in it. But time does go away.
Right.
What's important is what Colin was saying earlier is setting an intention before you go into your trip. Like,
Right.
why are you doing this? What do you want to work out? What do you want to think about? And it could be general, but it could be specific as well. And when you go specific, then you might unlock some things that you wouldn't have otherwise expected to.
Yeah. And I think at that point, when I had that experience, I was trying to let go of shit.
Yeah.
And it helped through that. And that was like one of the ego deaths. I think the time I ended up naked in my washroom, like I think that was very much an ego death as well. Because again, I felt very small.
Yeah.
I felt very helpless. I was naked.
Right.
So very much like as if like almost like that washroom
Yeah.
was like a womb. And I was going through a lot of thought. I thought I was going to die. I thought I would poison myself. And I was like, they're going to find me. I'm going to be in a mental institution, and all this stuff. And all of that just like, I don't know, it just really exposed me. And then I was like, if I get out of this, I'm going to live better.
Right.
Like I'm going to be better and I'm going to be more appreciative. And I thought of him. I thought of my girlfriend. I thought of a bunch of other friends. And I was like, man, they're all so good. And so, man, I'm like, I got to do better. Be better.
Just overwhelmed with gratitude.
Yeah. Completely overwhelmed with gratitude. And then all of a sudden I was like, because I couldn't walk and I couldn't move. And when I felt like I could, I was like, I'm like, oh my God, it's going away. Oh, and I called him. I called my girlfriend first. And I'm like, I love you so much. And she's like, it's pretty good when you do mushrooms. She's like, I kind of like this. And I called this guy. I'm like, oh man, I love you, man. What's going on? He's like, I'm in the grocery store right now. He's like, are you tripping? I'm like, I'm just getting out of it. And it was, yeah, that was a great time. I think ego deaths are great and they're needed. Other people might feel different, but maybe they were equipped with a bigger ego than I was.
Right.
I've gotten shit on a lot through life, so I don't know if I had a big one to begin with. So
Maybe the ego like tends to protect the damage, so you probably had a bigger one as a result. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I don't know, because how does the ego even work in that sense? Does the ego make you feel good?
Yeah, it can. Yeah, I think it's a healthy thing to have.
Yeah, so I have a small one then. Because I never like feel good about myself.
No.
Fair enough.
Never.
Interesting.
Yeah. Last person to call me on it was Lewis Molds, because I killed one night.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You killed."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Cool."
Still nothing, eh?
And he's just like, "That's great." I'm like, "Yeah, it's good." And in my head, I was like, it was like nothing even happened.
Right.
I don't get the dopamine hits like other people do. It's all right, Shane. Don't worry about it. Got Shane in the. This is not a snuff. This is not the person coming up behind you. Don't worry.
No, it's the casting coach.
Is he naked yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wish you could see it. Do you think there's ever going to be a way for us to see it?
To see
The ego.
I don't think it works that way.
I don't know.
It's like wind.
You think so?
It like affects you, but you can't see it.
But do you think it's like an energy pattern?
You can see it in like action.
But do you think there's like an energy pattern to it?
Like it's like a wave or something.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Like a cloak almost.
A cloak.
I don't think so.
My cloak would be Versace because I got a
Yeah.
big ego. I got a big expensive.
Like an
ego.
like a color aura around you.
We're discovering things.
Yeah.
Beaming out.
Memorable mark, man.
Yeah.
This is memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Boom.
So where do we veer off to? My ego death, I guess. I don't know if I can explain it as well, but basically, we did probably around like 10 grams or something, and I was with Colin, and I'm not sure if he left or stuck around at this point,
Yeah.
But for me, I just was like looking at my backyard, and all the trees disappeared, and you could see like the universe and the stars.
Right.
And I was just sort of at the edge of this like everything. And I felt this like, at first it was like this overwhelming oneness with nature.
Yeah.
And everybody in the world. I'm like, oh my God, like we are all one. Like the certainty that we're all connected on some level. So that was like a very powerful thing. And then I was like, oh my God, I can be anybody. If we are all one, I can be anybody.
Right.
And I can have any personality that I want. And that sort of like washed over me, this feeling of like, holy crap. Like I can wake up tomorrow and not even be myself. What does that mean? So I actually literally took a physical like step back from this backyard view, and was like, let's take this down a notch. I don't want to like take this plunge of like, where's this gonna go? and yeah, like I don't remember what happened from there. I think I started sort of coming out of my trip or coming back, but that was like, for me, it was just like, it felt like I was dissolved, like a literal, like imagine, like we talked about, like a layer dissolving off of your skin, and you just feel like completely, like if you surrender to it, you just feel like completely naked. I'm in the universe.
Is that same feeling Colin said, like the cleansing?
That's one way to describe it, I think. So that's sort of what it was like for me. It was just this powerful feeling. You feel like energy. You feel importance and also like nothingness.
Right.
Which changes your perspective. I was asking you about death before. It just changed for me. Like, would that type of experience it makes you comfortable with like anything that's going to happen. Life, is a cycle, and we're all going through it, and we're here for our time. And attached to nothing, connected to everything. So that's sort of what an ego death was like for me.
Interesting. Ooh. That's sick.
So, that's some stuff.
That's awesome, man.
That's some stuff. Mike's gonna start to cry.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was still there.
I don't think you were.
Because was it cold?
I think it was cold.
I would have never had him open that thing. I'd be like, close that.
How'd you feel when he left, though? Were you like, no, stay. Like, I don't want to trip alone.
Oh. I think usually that's like a general feeling when someone leaves. It changes the whole, shifts the whole vibe of like the room. You're like, oh, now it feels different, but like also you just sort of accept it and then move on.
Right.
But yeah, like it definitely like affected me in some way when like some energy leaves.
Yeah.
It's that's weird. 'Cause we always leave. Like I always leave.
Yeah.
But what makes me think, how high was I driving home if you were experiencing this and I was gone?
You lived next door practically, so I don't know.
Was it? Oh, was it one of those times?
A good chance that like it was nearing the end of the trip.
There's like
because I'll like re-up sometimes. I'll eat more.
Yeah. And I would sober up pretty
These
fast.
are all good questions. I don't have like a clear memory on exactly the play-by-play.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But it was like a memorable experience.
Because I would have been like, yo, bro, it's so cold. What are you doing? There's been times where you've done that, and I'd be like, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, because like my senses, like you don't really notice hot and cold as abruptly. You don't notice loud and quiet so much. Like it's all the same.
It's so true.
You don't really feel like these things aren't important to you. You're interpreting it in a different way. So.
Because after he'd sit down, it would be like minutes later, he'd be like, yeah, it was cold, eh? It's cold outside.
Sensory overload. No, I definitely remember being there, like where it's like, oh, like you kind of snap into yourself. You're like, oh, wait, like that is like freezing. Like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Or like, oh, that was like super loud. Like maybe there's other people sleeping right now.
Yeah.
One time I remember.
I'm lucky people don't get mad at me there.
We were inside. That's exactly what I was like. Fuck. We were inside, and this guy's like, maybe we should go outside. And then we went outside and it was dark and cold and we were like, this is a bad idea. We're both standing there like, this is a bad idea.
At least we come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
And we go back inside.
It's bonding though, right?
Absolutely.
It will join you. That's why like people who take people through trips, like guided trips, like usually they have to this is some more hippie shit for you to get affiliated with. But like they'll be like, it's like an empathic exchange, and they take on a lot of what that person was going through. So they actually have to like clear that out. That's why it's important to do it with like, you know, like a girlfriend. Like it seems like you guys were, you know, building a relationship, but then actually like in one as you guys are doing these doses, and that's good because you guys already are bonding through like hugging and like intimacy all the time. So that's just like another level. But like, when you do it with your friends, it should be like friends that you like have known for a long time and that you trust.
Yeah, there's something about going through a similar experience that is also like unknown and kind of like scary in a way. And then you get through on the other side, and you're like, oh, like you both know that you've done that. Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like you're both part of that club now. Yeah, in a way. So it's very much a bonding experience.
It's a secret society. Yeah. It's like Project Mayhem, Fight Club. You gotta get your your scar. You gotta get your scar on you. He has one too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Where at?
He hides it.
Oh, okay.
It's down on my ankle. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. Crazy. Nuts. Got it in Vegas.
Oh really?
He got his in Hawaii. Nuts.
Huh.
The nutty time.
Let me see.
We have to do another one.
Mine?
Yeah.
Nah.
You can look over the edge.
Over the edge.
Oh, sick.
There it is.
Oh, you got the root too.
Yeah, the root all the way down.
Bro, worst place to get your tattoo.
On the bone.
Right, as a first tattoo.
I almost passed out.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was awesome.
That was like a trip in and of itself. That was like watching my friend go through a trip.
I had a hero dance.
He was like, this. I'm like, holy shit, he's turning red and shit. I was like, Jesus.
Oh no.
I'm like, is he gonna make
chiseling,
it?
Right?
I just wanted to feel something,
bro. He's like, can I still feel? Yeah, it was nuts. That was like 2 hours too.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, it was getting crazy for him. I just got mine on my forearm because that's a smarter place to do it. It just feels better.
Yeah,
just chilling. Man, you're next.
I'm next. Yeah. Let's do it.
As soon as you have an ego death, you just wake up and you just have it.
It's a stamp. It's a stamp of approval.
Yeah, well, we're not here to convince you to do more mushrooms, but we'd like to have you on when you decide to have your next hero dose.
That would be pretty cool.
To follow up. That'd be pretty awesome, I think.
Actually, that's probably the only way I'll do it. Yeah. If it's if we get something out of it.
Yeah, document that afterwards.
Yeah,
it is good to do that. There is a thing that's supposed to happen after you have large doses. I believe it's called like reintegration or like integration, like back into the world, and like deal and talk about what you just saw and experienced and stuff. Because it's like sometimes it's like you go through some shit and you're like, what was all that? And then you just go back home to like think about it or like block it out.
Yeah, I heard the girl say that we were listening to earlier that they have 3 sessions with like, you know, in the hospital with the experienced guides, and then they have 3 Skype sessions afterwards to sort of follow up and talk about the experience and see what they're feeling.
I had that same thing when I did ayahuasca.
I wanted to do that before.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You want to?
I wanted to.
Oh yeah, you should.
Not after my 3rd time mushrooms though.
Oh man,
it's good.
It's really good. It's nice.
How would you compare it? That's definite puking, right?
No.
Really?
No, you don't always puke. You don't always cleanse. You don't, unless you have to. You know, it depends what's in you. I would say mushrooms are like a mother. Like a mother energy. You know, like a good mother. You know, mother. And ayahuasca's like a great grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah. And when she meets you, she like knows everything about you already.
Oh.
And she cares about you 1,000,000 times more than your mother.
Wow.
Yeah. And she shows you more. And like takes care of you more.
You did it in South America or?
No.
Here?
Yeah, in Canada.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then the shamans checked in with me 3 times.
Huh.
Yeah, they checked in, talked about it, just looking into my energy and how I'm feeling, and
so they kind of guide you through it, eh?
Oh yeah, and while it was happening, they weren't really guiding per se, but they guided beforehand and throughout. It's kind of like checkups, I guess, right? Yeah, they'd come in and be like, "How you doing?" And I was completely fine because I'd gone through so many experiences, so I was just kind of laying there. But yeah, not everybody had that experience. It was a wild time.
Yeah.
That actually made me not want to do any psychedelics again. Right after I did it, I was like, I don't need to do anything else. You know why? Because somebody had a traumatic experience like right near me.
Oh.
Yeah. And then there were other people in the house like having these traumatic experiences.
Like what was happening?
Just like a lot of crying, a lot of yelling. The person near me was getting like violent with people and stuff. He's going off. But
sounds like a Tony Robbins event.
And then we had to do some coal walking in the bathroom. But it was just as it was all happening, I was getting all these things and everything, and I was also aware of the outside world, and I was like, I'm like, I can't believe we do this.
Right.
I'm like, I can't believe we go this deep, and I'm like, I can't. I'm like, this is crazy. And that's the first time I ever had that thought. I never have that thought, but I was like, this is really something that we do here when it comes to this shit. And I thought of this guy. I'm like, yeah, we just and by ourselves. Like,
we just
by
do
ourselves.
this on
I'm
our
like,
own?
I'm like, this is. I'm like,
Because we're experienced.
yeah, but I was.
We
just
do
like,
it together, but separately. We're like going to our own heads, but we're there.
Right. Yeah.
In case he does anything crazy,
Right.
or I start doing things.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's the general.
It's like to be like, hey, no,
Yeah.
all right, no,
And
no,
you're
no.
like, oh, okay, I trust that one.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'll stop. Put my pants back on.
But how about those people that get like psychosis from like, you know what I mean? Some people have that genetic.
Yeah, they're screening for that in the tests that they're doing these days,
Yeah.
because they're not trying to jump into anything. So yeah, people who have like a predisposition to mental illness, to schizophrenia, I think specifically, it might trigger some stuff, and that's a truly bad experience, because then who knows how you come out with on the other end. But I heard a story Paul Stamets told about Mark Hayden, who's the head of MAPS, where what was it? Someone who did mushrooms that was schizophrenic. They came out of their trip and they're like, during my trip I still had the voices in my head, but they were all positive. And that was his story. So I don't know. That's all I know about that subject. Yeah,
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you have a bunch
That's
of cheerleaders?
That's balls to do that. Like, you have
right? Like, who
schizophrenia and
knows
you're
what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That is something. Eh?
Yeah, in a way, you're rewiring your brain or shifting your perspective.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know if that could be necessarily positive or negative.
Right.
That's why it's so important to set an intention, because that's how you can control these situations. And that's why it's important to have a guide and have someone that will talk to you afterwards to keep the whole integration process on track, instead of you going off into some other place.
Right.
And that's how you avoid these situations, largely, I believe.
Yeah, like those uncomfortable things that you were experiencing and stuff. Because like at that point, you could turn to a guide and be like, I'm kind of feeling negative.
Right.
And they'll be like, why? And then you'll like talk it out. Yeah. And then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
At least if I was a guide, that's how it would be.
Yeah. Someone would like emerge to talk. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
gotta deal with something.
Yeah.
Or like they deal with it on their own and they talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Exactly.
oh, this came up, that came up.
Mm-hmm. It's all about what you can handle. I think there should be vetting, to the sense of people have schizophrenia, all these different mental issues.
Yeah.
And I think there should be choice. I think there should be vetting and choice. I think there should be vetting, like you have this, and this, and we don't suggest this for you. And then there should be a choice whether or not they do it. I don't think they should just be rolled out.
No. Just give it out to kids at school. University, it's a part of the class.
Red hand or blue hand?
Yeah. Choice is yours.
Psychedelics 101.
You want 5 or 10?
Like not the kid. Well, I'm gonna watch that documentary again on these kids, because there's a society, like I forget, I think it's in South America, where they give kids like 6 years old, like it's like an initiating process.
No
they
way.
give them psilocybin.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's early.
Yeah, that's
Very early. But who knows what it'll do for people with those issues? But also, you don't want to just like tamper.
Well, imagine like a kid's mind is so malleable and they're just in the phase of discovery, and then you give them mushrooms and then you put like the right stuff in front of them, and like who knows? You're like, oh, look at this piano, look at this music, like look at this.
Yeah.
They're like, ooh, like,
right?
this is interesting, and then their brains are just like, boom. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, right. Like it has to work well on one kid.
Yeah.
One kid has to turn into a genius. But you can't take those chances.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
It's all those other ones that Don't focus on those ones. This
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
he's a penis
This
now.
kid.
Look at him. Nah, yeah. There is that when it comes to like psychedelics, the whole like the mental issue stuff. But you gotta vet properly and vet yourself properly.
Just
like
tread carefully.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. Like tread carefully, and also if you know that about yourself, like, and you really want to do it, like you should be doing it in a completely different setting than somebody else would do. Like the way we have our settings. Anytime we've done it, I wouldn't suggest that for somebody who had like crazy issues. I would be like, you got to do it differently.
Well, yeah, they should. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you do it in the dark, right?
Well, I do it in the dark. I mean, like if we're ever together, we're just like in a room, like just chilling together.
Have you ever mixed mushrooms with like anything else?
Yes. When I was going from Kudo to Rogers,
Okay.
I helped this guy basically. I helped him like get a phone.
Yeah.
And he just basically didn't know what to do. He was just like, what do I do? Like he was just basically like space case.
Yeah.
And I said, I helped him, and then he gave me his email address. I won't say it, but it gave me the indication that this guy had mushrooms. So after he left, I ran up to him. I'm like, hey, yo, do you have any? Because I've been looking for him for so long. And he's like, I don't. He's like, but you help me out. He's like, this is kind of the same thing. He gave me a bunch of acid, like 30, 40 hits, and like a bunch of MDMA, just for no reason. It was very weird. Huh. So I started taking those two together, and then after a while, I got access to psilocybin again, and then I started taking those like together, and I would take all three.
Damn.
And it feels really good.
What was that?
Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3. It feels good. It's a lot on your stomach.
Right.
Especially for this time because I ate it. So it was like 2 G's of mushrooms. I ate it. It was like a regular dose of like MDMA, whatever that would be. And this was like far from here. Cause
That's why he feels nothing now.
Yeah.
It could be a very, very possible thing. Cause it fucks with your serotonin, right?
We found it.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing it. Like I was doing it like daily at one point.
Oh, for how long?
Like 30 days.
Oh, for real?
Or no, for the training at Rogers. Because I switched to Rogers.
Yeah.
And then like every day I would go in.
So that's like your version of Super Size Me. Where you're like, super fry me.
Wow, why didn't we call it? Oh, man. I'd be rich right now.
Oh, my God.
I wouldn't even be in this room with you.
No,
guys.
Oh, my God.
I'd be somewhere on an island.
Yeah.
That's the super fry me guy.
You can relive it.
He's crazy now, but he's rich.
Yeah.
I'm just stroking a gopher. This is all I need, guys.
Yeah. Just you and your guitar gopher guy.
Found happiness.
Gopher, I think it's a guitar.
Yeah. What's the difference between acid and mushrooms?
Acid and mushrooms. Okay, so mushrooms will make you go very internal, whereas acid will make you go very external.
Oh, okay.
There was like a study with all these scientists, like they were trying to figure out this problem. I think it was like 27 scientists or something. And
43.
Was it 43?
Yeah.
Okay. And then they all did it, and then they had these problems that they couldn't solve, and then how many of them solved it?
Like 42.
Yeah, it was like 40. Like all of them solved.
So
like,
they were all professionals in their respective fields that were like passionate and and they were already trying to solve difficult problems. So they're really motivated to figure this, whatever they're architects and mathematicians, all these different people. Right? Yeah. So yeah, they all gave them all acid. You can read these like case studies.
Cool.
I'm not sure exactly where, but I'm sure you can find them. But yeah, basically almost all of them like in a very profound way like solved their problem during their trip, and they were able to like the architect was able to describe like where's like the screw in this brick, and like he's able to like in empty space like describe exactly how this thing was built. It was like perfectly visualized in his mind. All right,
don't telescope too much. That's what happens when you do acid.
Right.
You'll solve that same kind of problem on your inside with mushrooms. Gotcha. That's basically what happens. If you do a large dose of acid, you will go very internal, but it's like in a super organized way. Yeah, like there's no emotion to it. It's like I should do this. Like if you're trying to solve like something, like just a problem you're having, it's like I should just do this, this, and this, and then that will solve that problem, and that's just what I should do. And it's like just clear. Everything's like clear. It's like
that's on a lot of acid, right? Or just a little bit?
For me, I can handle large doses of things. So like 4 tabs, like you shouldn't do that. Like if you've never done it, don't do 4 tabs, like ever really. I just had it, so I did it. It's not smart.
What's like the equivalent of like the 2.5 grams mushrooms, like
the equivalent dose
to acid?
A tab.
1 tab.
I'd say half a tab, but it's hard because you're going to be like handling it with something like it's just a tab.
And it's ink, right?
Ink?
Yeah, isn't it ink? Or
ink. Yeah, ink. You're thinking of ink blot,
like blotter.
Yeah, like blot. Like this, they take a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And just blot it on a piece of paper.
Oh, okay.
So it's like each dose could be like very different. That's also why you like.
It's like an edible, right? Like
yeah,
you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, that's a great.
I'll never do edibles again. Never.
Yeah. But acid will make you very external. Mushrooms will make you go inside.
Okay.
So if you're a go-getter, like a fucking business executive,
yeah,
you should do mushrooms. And if you're like a guy who's like always on the couch and you're like trying to figure out how to like get more productive in life, you should try acid. Because like that'll get you up.
Prescription.
You're not gonna hear from me tomorrow. Like I'm not gonna wake up. Colin said,
I'm just saying.
He took all 3 of those things.
Oh yeah. You don't want to do that though. When I did that, it was very like okay. This was the experience. When I did it, I left. I was at a mall, so I left the mall after doing the mall, and I got to the bus stop, and then it started to kick in. And I was like, okay, the bus is coming. I got on, and it started kicking in like a lot. And I was like, fuck. And I had to get off the bus, and there was a second one that was right there, but I thought I was gonna throw up. So I was like, I can't get on the bus. Yeah. So I just had to kind of like stand around for a while and just trying to look normal. Right. So I'm like just kind of like posted up. I'm cool, chilling. I'm like hopefully, and I'm like looking for like places to throw up. I'm like just in case, just so it doesn't look weird. So I'm doing that, and everything's just doing what it does. And eventually I feel fine. It comes in waves. Yeah. Same kind of thing. So I was like, oh, I'm good. So I get on the bus, and then it comes in a wave again, and some guy, empathy. He was drunk. You could tell he was visibly drunk, and he couldn't get on the bus. Nobody had change, and I just had bus tickets. So I'm like, here, yo, because he had like $10. I'm like, I don't have change, but I have bus tickets. Like here. So he takes it and he does his thing, and then I'm riding the bus for like 20 minutes, and all of a sudden he comes up to me. He's like, yo, here's $5. Really? And I'm like, does this guy think I'm homeless? Because I don't remember what I did for him. Oh. So I'm like, why did this guy just give me $5? It was very, very weird. And then as I'm getting off the bus, I go, oh, I gave him a bus ticket. Like I say it out loud. I go, oh, the bus ticket. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. And we get off at the same spot. And I'm like, hey man, like, yeah, thanks, buddy. And he's like, yeah, no problem, man. It was so weird.
That's hilarious.
It was just a very weird experience.
The first mushroom story I ever heard of, my friend took a bunch of mushrooms with his friends, and they went on a bus. And he said as the bus was going, it felt like it was taking off into outer space. Like he just saw like black and like lights. No, he just thought he was like launching off. School bus. Yeah. That's
epic.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's amazing.
Very cool.
Man, well, you're amazing.
This was great.
Boom. Memorable Mark.
Yeah, brew Mark.
Is there any other questions?
No, I think we're good. This is the end of Talking Mush. Thank you so much, Mark.
Do you have anything that you have to plug or promote or anything?
Yeah, any plugs?
Any weekly spots you're doing? Anything like that?
There's Henry's. You heard of Henry's?
I have.
In Hamilton?
Yeah, I have.
It's a comedy and a barbershop. It's for some charity on when's this coming?
Man, we have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Not in time.
Probably January.
You'll see me at Yuck Yuck sometime eventually one day.
Not coming out in January.
Yeah. You'll see me around, people. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Comedian.
I got the ego death already, so fuck it.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, guys. That was fun.
Yeah. Sick.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Boom.
Take it easy. Talkin Mush. Ooh. Oh, yeah. We're not naming these episodes no more.
That's it.
We're not naming them. Peace.